City Council Transportation Committee officially calling the meeting to order. Have on my far left Councilmember Juan. When she approached her seat, of course, our Vice Chair, Councilwoman Overstreet, and then to my right, Councilmember Lewis. I'd like to make a motion to adopt the agenda. Motion has been made and second. Please open the vote.
Overstreet, affirmative.
One moment. The vote is open. The vote is closed. 4 yeas, 0 nays. The agenda has been adopted.
Thank you. Motion to approve the minutes. Motion has been made and second. Please open the vote.
The vote is open. The vote is closed. 4 yeas, 0 nays. The minutes have been approved.
Thank you. That takes us to our public comment section. I remind you to keep all comments directed toward the committee. Please be respectable for everyone within the sound of your voice. We have one person signed up. Give you 3 minutes. Mr. Maurice Morris.
Of the Transportation Committee, my name is Maurice, CFO of the world's only high-end rideshare mobile app platform operating in Georgia, Michigan, and Illinois. We are proposing the nation's first dedicated EV charging stations for rideshare drivers at the West Curb in all staging areas at Hartsfield-Jackson International Airport through a joint branded initiative called Carbon Elite Curbside, powered by Rideshare Rates. While Hartsfield-Jackson currently provides EV charging in parking decks and park ride facilities, there are no chargers in rideshare staging areas or curbside pickup zones. That leaves electric rideshare drivers without reliable options where they need them most. Our proposal solves this gap by bridging fast, dedicated chargers directly to the West Curb in staging areas where driver demand is highest. This eliminates range anxiety for rideshare EV drivers, especially on long trips to rural Georgia where returning to chargers are uncertain. By giving drivers reliable access to charging at the airport, we make EV adoption more practical, while also strengthening Atlanta's leadership in green mobility. This initiative will be funded entirely through the NEVI, National Electric Vehicle Infrastructure Grant Program, at zero cost to the City of Atlanta and the airport, if approved. With your support, Atlanta can become the national model for EV rideshare infrastructure and set the standard for sustainable world-class airport transportation. Thank you.
Thank you. That actually brings us to the end of our public comment section, which takes us to our consent agenda. I had someone I wanted to introduce to the committee, but she stepped back in. Ms. Arrington, to my understanding, one of our partners, MARTA, has, of course, have a reorg or organizational change. So we do have a new member of their team. If you just introduce yourself to the committee so we'll know that we have a new face that is also a familiar face at MARTA.
Absolutely. Good morning or afternoon, everyone. Michelle Arrington, started at MARTA 3 weeks ago, I think 2.5 weeks now. So I am the new Assistant General Manager of External Affairs. Excited to be there. I'm Atlanta native, so I've taken MARTA probably my whole life, and thank you for the welcome. And I don't know the answers to probably any questions you may have, but I'm getting up to speed, so thank you.
Thank you very much, and I know you'll make your rounds at meeting with each one of us, passing out your information. With that being said, that takes us to our consent agenda. First reads.
Section F, ordinance for first reading, item number 1, 2050-1496. An ordinance by Transportation Committee authorizing the mayor or his designated on behalf of the City of Atlanta to retroactively renew agreement number listed herein, concession secret shopping, pricing, and compliance services agreement with A Customer Point of View Incorporated to monitor concessions operators at Hartsfield-Jackson Atlanta International Airport for a period of 1 year an amount not to exceed $290,000.00. All contract work will be charged to and paid from the account numbers listed herein and for other purposes.
First read.
This takes us to our regular agenda, Section G, ordinance for second reading. Item number 2, 25-01464, an ordinance by Transportation Committee to ratify the City of Atlanta submission of an application for the 2025 Local Maintenance and Improvement Grant and Local Road Assistance Administration funding through the LMIG application system from the Georgia Department of Transportation for street resurfacing projects and a combined amount not to exceed of $10,866,059.16 and for other purposes.
So understanding what this paper is about, want to make sure all my colleagues actually seen the list that came along with this legislation. If not, please make sure we see this list as this move forward, because it exists. With that being said, motion to approve. Motion has been made and second. Any more discussion? Seeing none, please open the vote.
The vote is open. The vote is closed. 4 yeas, 0 nays. This item is favorable.
And before you move forward, department, if you can just email that to all council members again, specifically the list, so they have it. I thank you, Mr. Johnson.
Item number 3, 25-01465, an ordinance by Transportation Committee authorizing the mayor or his designee on behalf of the City of Atlanta to waive the competitive procurement source selection provisions contained in Section 2-1187 and Section 2-1292E of Article 10 Procurement and Real Estate Code of the City of Atlanta Code of Ordinances, as well as any other conflicting code provisions on behalf of the Department of Aviation to retroactively authorize and ratify execution of contract number listed herein, perimeter gates inspection and exits with OS3 joint venture containing 2 one-year renewal options and for other purposes.
Motion to approve. Motion has been made and second. Please open the vote.
The vote is open. The vote is closed. 4 yeas, 0 nays. This item is favorable. Item number 4, 25-01466, an ordinance by Transportation Committee amending the fiscal year 2026 Airport Passenger Facility Charge Fund budget by transferring to and from appropriations in the amount of $235,880,000.00 to provide funding for various projects at Hartsfield-Jackson Atlanta International Airport and for other purposes.
Second. Motion has been made and second. Please open the vote.
The vote is open. The vote is closed. 4 yeas, 0 nays. This item is favorable. Item number 5, 25-01467, an ordinance by Transportation Committee to amend the FY 2026 Airport Renewal and Extension Fund, Airport Passenger Facility Charge Fund, 2020-12C GARBS non-amount, 2019 A9 amount GARBS, 2022 non-amount GARBS, 2023 B2 GARBS non-amount, 2023 C GARBS amount, 2024 A2 GARBS non-amount, 2024 B GARBS amount budgets by transferring to and from appropriations a total amount of $24,009,427.00 for reimbursement of the Airport Renewal and Extension Fund and for other purposes.
Second. Motion has been made and second. Please open the vote.
The vote is open. The vote is closed. 4 yeas, 0 nays. The item is favorable. Item number 6, 25-01481, an ordinance by Councilmember Marcy Collier Overstreet authorizing the mayor or his designee to exercise a renewal for contract number listed herein. Construction Management Support Services at Hartsfield-Jackson Atlanta International Airport with ATL Construction Management Partners, a joint venture to provide construction management services on behalf of the Department of Aviation on a task order basis for a term of 5 years and for other purposes.
Motion to approve. Motion has been made and second. Please open the vote.
The vote is open. The vote is closed. 4 yeas, 0 nays. This item is favorable. This takes us to Section H, resolutions. Item number 7, 25-R3800, a resolution by Councilmember Byron D. Amos supplementing a task order fund in the amount of $24,400,000.00 for a contract number listed herein, Program Management Support Services at Hartsfield-Jackson Atlanta International Airport with Atlanta Aviation Associates, a joint venture to provide program management support services on behalf of the Department of Aviation on a task order basis. All services will be charged to and paid from the account numbers listed herein and for other purposes.
Second, motion has been made and second. Seeing no discussion, open the vote.
The vote is open. The vote is closed. 4 yeas, 0 nays. This item is favorable. Mr. Chair, item number 8 requires a substitute. The substitute changes the caption. May we have a motion to bring forth a substitute?
Second, motion has been made and second. Please open the vote.
The vote is open. The vote is closed. 4 yeas, 0 nays. The substitute before you. The substitute revises the legislation and adds references to the Vision Zero ordinance, Moving Atlanta Forward infrastructure program, and strategic delivery plan in the legislation. Item number 8, 25R3802, a resolution by council members Antonio Lewis and Michael Julian Bond and Ishay Collins as substituted by Transportation Committee, requesting that the Atlanta Department of Transportation prioritize and allocate funding for the repaving of Browns Mill Road Southeast and for other purposes.
Second, motion has been made and second. Please open the vote.
Vote is open. The vote is closed. 4 yeas, 0 nays. The item is favorable on substitute. Mr. Chair, item number 9 changes the caption. May we have a motion to bring forth a substitute?
Second, motion is made and second. Please open the vote.
The vote is open. The vote is closed. 4 yeas, 0 nays. The substitute is before you. The substitute revises the legislation that adds references to the Vision Zero ordinance, strategic delivery plan, and ATO, DOT, and GDOT coordination on new sidewalk infrastructure along Jonesboro Road. Item number 9, 25R3808, a resolution by council members Antonio Lewis, Michael Julian Bond, and Ishay Collins, as substituted by Transportation Committee, requesting that the Atlanta Department of Transportation communicate with the Georgia Department of Transportation regarding the design and construction of new sidewalk infrastructure along Jonesboro Road Southeast to improve safety, pedestrian access, and mobility for residents of District 12 and for other purposes.
Motion has been made. I second. We have discussion before we move forward. Well, okay, after we vote, carry forward the motion. Please vote.
The vote is open. The vote is closed. 4 yeas, 0 nays. This item is favorable on substitute.
Councilmember Lewis.
Super happy that my colleagues and co-sponsors helped get this legislation done to connect Browns Mill Road and Jonesboro Road to Southtown Trail and to the Lakewood Path means that we finally connected the south side to the Atlanta Beltline. Extremely proud of this. We at least have the funding to get this done. So we want to get this done. The communities in the area looking forward to this. There's going to be one holdup on the Browns Mill Road because we're doing a partnership with Atlanta Habitat to make sure they can build the homes in Browns Mill Village a little faster. So we're going to get new homes, new affordable housing, and a road that's going to get you on the Beltline from Browns Mill Road. Thank you again.
Congratulations, sir. Mr. Johnson.
Mr. Chair, if there is no objection from the committee, can we bring forth the substitutes for items 10, 11, 14, and 16?
Seeing none, carry forward. Oh, you want to bring forward a substitute? I second. Open the vote.
One moment. Mr. Chair, can you repeat the mover and the seconder?
Councilmember Juan, mover, I was seconder.
The vote is open. Well, everyone, the vote is closed. 4 yeas, 0 nays. The substitute is brought before you on these items. The substitute makes revisions throughout the legislation that adds Councilmember Jason Whitson as a co-sponsor. Mr. Chair, can we bring forth the substitute for items 12, 13, and 15?
Motion has been made and second. Please open the vote.
One moment. The vote is open. The Vote is closed. 4 yeas, 0 nays. The substitute is brought before you on these items. Mr. Chair, there is no objection from the body. Can we take items number 10 through 16 together as a block?
Seeing none, proceed.
Item number 10, 25R3804, a resolution by Councilmember Antonio Lewis as substituted by Transportation Committee, requesting that the Commissioner of the Atlanta Department of Transportation conduct a traffic study along Cary Drive Southeast to determine the need for safety improvements such as additional signage and traffic calming measures and for other purposes. Item number 11, 25R3805, a resolution by Council Members Antonio Lewis and Jason Winston, as substituted by Transportation Committee, requesting that the Commissioner of the Atlanta Department of Transportation conduct a traffic study on Burroughs Avenue Southeast to determine the need for any safety improvements, such as additional signage and traffic calming measures and for other purposes. Item number 12, 25R3806, a resolution by Councilmember Antonio Lewis as substituted by Transportation Committee, requesting that the Commissioner of the Atlanta Department of Transportation conduct a traffic study on Grand Avenue Southwest to determine the need for safety improvements such as additional signage and traffic calming measures and for other purposes. Item number 13, 25R3807, a resolution by Councilmember Antonio Lewis as substituted by Transportation Committee, requesting that the Commissioner of the Atlanta Department of Transportation conduct a traffic study on Holly Drive Southeast to determine the need for any safety improvements such as traffic calming devices, reduced speeds, or stop signs, and for other purposes. Item number 14, 25R3808, a resolution by Councilmember Antonio Lewis as substituted by Transportation Committee, requesting the Commissioner of the Atlanta Department of Transportation conduct a traffic study on Harper Road Southeast to determine the need for any safety improvements such as traffic calming measures, reduced speeds, or stop signs, and for other purposes. Item number 15, 25R3809, a resolution by Councilmember Antonio Lewis as substituted by Transportation Committee, requesting the Commissioner of the Atlanta Department of Transportation to conduct a traffic study on Baywood Drive Southeast to determine the need for any safety improvements such as traffic calming measures, additional signage, or other traffic calming measures and for other purposes. Item number 16, 25R3810, a resolution by Councilmember Antonio Lewis and Jason Winston as substituted by Transportation Committee, requesting the Commissioner of the Atlanta Department of Transportation to conduct a traffic study on Jernigan Drive Southeast to determine the need for any safety improvements such as traffic calming measures, devices, and reduced speeds or stop signs and for other purposes.
So I second, and to be clear, that is to approve 10, 11, 14, 16, 12, 13, and 15, correct?
No, Mr. Chair, the motion is to approve items 10 through 16.
10 through 16, thank you. Motion made, I second. Please open the vote. I do have one question of the department after we carry this motion.
The vote is closed. 4 yeas, 0 nays. These items are favorable on substitute.
Thank you. Commissioner Cavanaugh, just to be sure, and I'm going to limb say they are, when we doing these traffic studies or anything we're doing with the configuration of our streets, it is being done with the understanding that we are in the middle of a comprehensive transportation plan, right?
Yes, sir. Solomon Cavanaugh, ATL DOT, absolutely.
So your findings will slide seamlessly into the overall plan.
Yes.
Sound good? Okay, next item.
Item number 17, 25R3811, a resolution by Transportation Committee authorizing the mayor or designee to execute a project management agreement with the Little Five Points Community Improvement District for the Finley Plaza Revitalization Project to execute any required agreements for the project participation and implementation on behalf of the Atlanta Department of Transportation in an amount not to exceed $590,985.26. All contract work will be charged to and paid from the fund department, organization, and account numbers listed herein and for other purposes.
Motion to approve. Motion been made and second. Please open the vote.
The vote is open. The vote is closed. 4 yeas, 0 nays. This item is favorable. Item number 18, 25R3812, a resolution by council members Marcy Collier Overstreet and Byron D. Amos requesting the Metropolitan Atlanta Rapid Transit Authority to appear before the Transportation Committee to provide a comprehensive update on safety protocols and infrastructure accountability and for other purposes.
You got it. Motion has been made and second. Please open the vote.
The vote is open. The vote is closed. 4 yeas, 0 nays. This item is favorable.
Next item.
Mr. Chair, item number 19 requires a substitute. The substitute changes the caption. May we have a motion to bring forth a substitute?
Second. Motion been made and second. Please open the vote.
The vote is open. The vote is closed. 4 yeas, 0 nays. The substitute before you. The substitute makes revisions throughout the legislation and adds verbiage on the necessary actions once the comprehensive transportation plan is completed. Item number 1925R3816, a resolution by Councilmember Alex Wan as substituted by Transportation Committee, a resolution requesting the Commissioner of the Atlanta Department of Transportation to remove all parking meters in the Atkins Park neighborhood commercial district located within Virginia Highland neighborhood and for other purposes.
Second. Motion been made and second. Please open the vote.
The vote is open. The vote is closed. 4 yeas, 0 nays. This item is favorable on substitute. Item number 2025R3828, a resolution by Transportation Committee authorizing the mayor or his designee to exercise the second renewal option for agreement listed herein, sanitary sewer lift stations operations and maintenance with the Sierra Construction Company Incorporated at Hartsfield-Jackson Atlanta International Airport on behalf of the Department of Aviation for a term of 2 years, effective October 19, 2025 through October 18, 2026, an amount not to exceed $1,657,675.00. All contract award will be charged to and paid from the account numbers listed herein and for other purposes.
Motion to approve. Motion been made and second. Please open the vote.
The vote is open. The vote is closed. 4 yeas, 0 nays. This item is favorable. Item number 2125R3829, a resolution by Transportation Committee supplementing a task order fund in an amount not to exceed $1,855,000.00 for use under agreement number listed herein. On-call comprehensive environmental services at Hartsfield-Jackson Atlanta International Airport with ACON Technical Services Incorporated. For the Department of Aviation on a task order basis, all services will be charged to and paid from the account numbers listed herein and for other purposes.
Motion to approve. Motion been made and second. Please open the vote.
The vote is open. The vote is closed. 4 yeas, 0 nays. This item is favorable. Item number 2225R3830, a resolution by Transportation Committee to fund construction services for agreement number listed herein, parking decks reconstruction and expansion, construction management at risk services at Hartsfield-Jackson Atlanta International Airport with Holder, Moody, Sovereign Davis, a joint venture to increase the not to exceed amount to $20 million and to authorize funding for the demolition and pre-construction services at Hartsfield-Jackson Atlanta International Airport in the amount of $18 million. All services will be charged to and paid from the account numbers listed herein and for other purposes.
Motion to approve. Motion been made and second. Please open the vote.
The vote is open. The vote is closed. 4 yeas, 0 nays. This item is favorable. Item number 2325R3831, a resolution by Transportation Committee supplementing a joint task order fund for fiscal year 2026 an amount not to exceed $5,800,000.00 for use under 2 planning support services contracts at Hartsfield-Jackson Atlanta International Airport. All services will be charged to and paid from the account numbers listed herein and for other purposes.
Second. Motion been made and second. Please open the vote.
The vote is open. The vote is closed. 4 yeas, 0 nays. This item is favorable. Item number 25R3832, a resolution by Transportation Committee authorizing the mayor or his designee to execute an unamortized construction cost reimbursement agreement with DNCTHS Atlanta Partners for agreement number listed herein for Concourse's D&T food and beverage concessions for the contraction of premises associated with the Concourse D widening project at Hartsfield-Jackson Atlanta International Airport, an amount not to exceed $52,389.20. All funds will be charged to and paid from the account numbers listed herein and for other purposes.
Second. Any discussion? Seeing none, please open the vote.
The vote is open. Will everyone please vote? The vote is closed. 4 yeas, 0 nays. This item is favorable. Mr. Chair, we have one item coming off held, item number 30 on page 11.
Proceed.
It requires a substitute. The substitute changes the caption. May we have a motion to bring forth a substitute?
Second. Please open the vote.
One moment. The vote is open. The vote is closed. 4 yeas, 0 nays. The substitute before you. The substitute makes revisions throughout the legislation. And, the substitute increases the funding amount to $8.9 million and extend the term of the month-to-month extension from 6 months to 9 months. Item number 30, 25-01397, a substitute ordinance by Transportation Committee authorizing the mayor or his designee to waive the competitive procurement source selection provisions contained in Section 2-1187, Article 10, Procurement and Real Estate Code of the City of Atlanta Code of Ordinances, as well as any other conflicting code revisions to revive and authorize the mayor or his designee to execute an amendment to extend agreement number listed herein, rental car center operations and maintenance services with Meridian Urban Joint Venture, LLC, for a period up to 9 months, beginning July 1st, 2025 through March 31st, 2026, and authorization for additional funding to the overall contract, an amount not to exceed $8,937,551.52. All contract work we charge to and pay from the accounts listed herein and for other purposes.
So I did have one question, and it was, one of my colleagues asked about the time. I have mentioned to the administration that I'm very concerned, and I have said it before about these month-to-months, especially when we're talking about so many dollars. So you want to ask your question or just, okay.
Yeah, I mean, really, it was just what's the challenge here and why are we going to 9 months? Is this a procurement challenge?
Good morning, Tyrania Smith, Senior Deputy General Manager for Hartsfield-Jackson Atlanta International Airport. This solicitation is active right now. We are in the blackout period, and I don't see procurement, but this time frame is needed to make sure we can finalize the procurement process, get a council approval, and also negotiate the contract and have an adequate transition period with the existing provider.
I appreciate that. I guess I'm just troubled because this was brought in July, was held, and here we are, end of August. And originally we only thought we needed to go to the end of the year, and now we've got to go an extra 90 days. And that to me signals things didn't go as smoothly as we thought. And I'm just curious, again, we're in the blackout period, so you're handcuffing us in terms of what we can find out. But just echoing Chairman Amos's comments, this to me is just another signal about the work we've got to do in procurement, and that we've got to keep our eye on it. So, Mr. Chair, I guess without being able to get any more information, we're stuck. So, but I'll move approval if there isn't already a motion on the table.
Second. So the motion has been made and second. Please open the vote.
The vote is open. The vote is closed. 4 yeas, 0 nays. The item is favorable on substitute. Mr. Chair, that includes our legislative items for today.
Thank you very much. Mr. Johnson, if we could go on record and ask the administration to ensure that someone from procurement began to attend all of the transportation meetings from henceforward. Thank you. Any comments, concerns, questions? Seeing none, we stand adjourned. Thank you.